What's up guys, it's James here, and in today's video, I'm gonna be showing you some of the best Airbnb markets in all of the US based on data. Now this is based on something from AirDNA called their BPTI report, their best places to invest report. Now we spent thousands of dollars on getting this data so that we could figure out what the best places actually are to invest in the United States, and we also have reports for Canada. We're able to look at and analyze which areas are going to perform the best taking the revenue relative to the actual purchase price of a prospective property. So it's really cool to be able to see this data. And today I'm going to go through 4 different markets that showed up really high on this report that are fantastic places to look at for investing. Now, for obvious reasons, I have to give a little disclaimer here that you do need to do your own due diligence whenever you're making an investment. I'm not trying to say that every single property in these areas is going to make sense as an investment, but these are some areas where the returns are outsized. Now, if you want to learn more about how you can get access to the tools that we use to be able to work with us and get insider tips on exactly what the best markets are to invest in, not the ones that are hot right now and they're overpriced and that, the secret's out on, but the up and coming markets that are going to be performing the best and be able to get an ROI that's really strong, then check out the link in the description down below to check out that free training. Like, imagine if you could have had the foresight to get into some of these really hot markets like the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee, these incredible markets that are booming right now. Imagine if you could have gotten into them years ago when very few people knew about them. That's the kind of data and insight that we have access to. So again, if you want to learn more about how you can work with us and invest super successfully, get the best possible properties as short-term rentals, and really just invest successfully in short-term rentals, then make sure that you click the link in the description down below to check out our free training that's going to walk you through how to invest successfully in short-term rentals. You'll get our analysis spreadsheet completely free that's going to help you to analyze properties and analyze deals, make sure you're getting a strong ROI. And you'll also have an opportunity for a limited time only to set up a free, again, all this stuff is completely free, one-on-one strategy session with our team where we can help you to strategize, figure out what type of approach is going to be best for you and what game plan is going to make the most sense for you to invest successfully in short-term rentals. So again, if you want access to all that stuff completely free, the link is in the description down below, so make sure you check it out. Let's jump over here and let's look at the first area, the first location that is fantastic, and it's called Alexander City. Now, if you're like me, you probably hadn't heard of Alexander City before. So if we zoom out a little bit on the map here, you'll see exactly where we are. We're in Alabama, just north of Montgomery, okay? And so if we zoom back in here and look at Alexander City, there's only a few properties. So that's one of the things you have to be mindful of. I'm going to show you a couple different markets that have only a few properties where they're just getting started, and then other areas that are still really good investability, but where there are more active rentals. So I always like to tell people in an area like this, there's a lot less competition, but there's also a lot less data to base your decisions off of. Sure, there are some great properties here. They're bringing in great numbers, and for the purchase price of these properties, like, they do quite well. You can see that one bringing in $75,000, this one bringing in $60,000. So this one's bringing in $100,000 almost. So there are some really great properties in this area. I took a moment to comb through the data, and the purchase prices in this area are shockingly low. So you can get in on a really cool market, but you just have to be mindful of the fact that the data is based on only 34 active rentals. So you'll want to make sure you're doing a little more research on some of the surrounding areas, make sure that there is enough demand and that your property is ultimately going to do really well. So that's one really cool area that, again, if you're like me, probably hadn't even heard of it, probably wasn't on your radar. Now, here's a different area, Broken Bow, I believe it's called. Forgive me if I am pronouncing that wrong, if it is Bow, but I believe it's just Broken Bow. And this is in, I believe, Alabama it was. Let's just kind of take a zoom out so we can see where it is on the map. No, not Alabama, we're in Oklahoma. This is a really cool market here. I was taking some time to skim around, and there are a lot of active rentals. You can see that there are 2,200 active rentals in Broken Bow here. And a lot of them are all cabins here. So you can see that the cabins tend to do really well. There's one doing 128,000. You got another one doing 70,000, 90,000. You can see that there's all kinds of properties that are doing really well. This one here is doing 95,000. And the key whenever you're looking at this data is to make sure you're looking for properties that are available as close to year round as possible, like this one that's available 356 days out of the year. Now this, if you look at it, this is actually a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom cabin that accommodates up to 4 people. And it's doing almost $100,000 in a year. That is really, really shocking that it's able to do that well for such a small property. It's very rare that I'll come across a market where properties that can only accommodate 4 people can bring in that kind of revenue. Typically, you have to be able to accommodate 6, 8, 10 people to be able to crest over $100,000 a year in revenue, because most of the time you can't charge as high of a nightly rate for that without having a larger group. So really strong to see, because a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom cabin is not super expensive, and so the ROI numbers are fantastic. Here's another one doing over $109,000. You can see there's all kinds of them. This one's doing $172,000. So really there's a lot of potential here. This is a really fantastic market. And you'll notice a trend as well. Both of these two markets are quite rural. Now rural markets tend to do really, really well just because the property values are much lower and there's a lot of demand for them, especially over the last couple of years. The demand has just skyrocketed as people look to do more domestic traveling. So these two markets have done really well. Here's another market that's sort of in between, Lake Placid, New York. And this one's got 662 active rentals, so it's a bit in between. It's not as low as 34, not as high as 22. And you can see that there are a bunch of different properties in here, again, all hitting around the $100,000 mark and even beyond that. You can see there's lots of them. This one's doing $150,000. And so again, we're keeping with that same theme of rural kind of cottagey type properties, cabins. They tend to do really well. The numbers tend to be great on them. So Lake Placid is another really great area. If you're looking at investing in sort of upstate New York area, that can be a really great spot to be. You can see exactly where we are in New York here. Lake Placid does really well. And you can see it's also just kind of surrounded by these different national parks. And just kind of really great nature retreats. So especially with all of the larger metropolitan areas nearby, I'm sure it's driving a lot of traffic to this area for people that want to just get out and escape the city and be next to nature. And then here's another one, a little less rural, another great investable market. Just a little bit down the coast from Galveston, which does very well, is Freeport, Texas. So Freeport, again, numbers are doing great. You'll see a theme again, like, no, this isn't rural cabins, but it is just a more nature-focused retreat. You're going to the beach, you're going to the ocean. And that's really the theme here that I've noticed. One of the big themes that I've seen by combing through all of this data is that some of the best areas are the areas where people are looking to escape from the cities to. So if that's something that you're interested, if you want to start buying properties for Airbnb, then that's a really great tip, is that right now, and I've said this before on this channel, is that the best places to invest in right now in the United States and in Canada and all kinds of different areas are going to be those kind of retreats, those staycation destinations. So think about, hey, where's a big metropolitan area? Let's go 2, 3, 4 hours outside of there. And that's generally going to be, if there's a really nice spot with some nice mountains, some nice lakes, a nice ocean, that's really where a lot of demand is going to be going to, because people do want to travel, but they want to travel a little bit more domestically now. People are always going to be doing these staycations. People can work from home a lot more easily. So, hey, why not get out of the city and get somewhere where they've got more space and more beautiful nature all around them? So that's really, those kind of different factors have really been driving these types of markets. And the cool thing is, if you actually look back years and years, even before COVID, these areas historically have always done really well. It's not that they didn't do well before COVID and now suddenly they're booming and there's a risk of them just plummeting afterwards. They did really well. Obviously, they've gotten a boost, but they still did really well because people always want to get out and escape the cities. And so these are some really cool areas to look at. Again, if you are interested in learning more and actually working with us, having us help you identify the best markets and help you find the best properties within those markets to invest in for short-term rental, then make sure you click the link in the description down below. Check out that free training video, grab our analysis spreadsheet for free, and make sure you also take the time to schedule a strategy session. That's going to be available to you after checking out that free training. You will, for a limited time, be able to book a one-on-one strategy call with our team completely free. Super cool. We're going to help to kind of give you a roadmap and some guidance on how to succeed with short-term rentals. So make sure that you check that out. Again, the link is in the description down below. If you like this video, if you want more of this, if you want me to analyze some more markets and go into more detail on this really cool report that we've got from AirDNA, then make sure you hit that like button and let me know that you like this video. And again, that really helps me to support and grow this channel. So I'd really appreciate it if you take a quick second. I'll wait. There you go. Just hit that like button. And last but not least, if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, anything you want to share, let me know in the comment section down below. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.